Don't panic. Meant to have it here. Hello everyone. Welcome. Adjust myself here so I'm this microphone. Happy to see you all again. I was, as you know, if you watched the video yesterday, debating on if I wanted to do a live stream or a video, and honestly I kept going back and forth up until like the umpteenth hour, and I was like, which one do I want to do? How's it going, Kill? Ethrex. Hello, how are you? Good, Paul. The reason I actually wanted to do a video though, or a live stream I should say, because that's what this is I haven't done one recently, and I wanted to show you guys a couple things here. Mostly going to be listening while leveling up. See, that's a productive use of your time during this event. Clear out the old mail. Oh, my stuff's expiring. But yeah, happy to be here. Glad to be streaming. I was actually inspired. I'll be making a new character during this event, although this actually looks pretty dope too. See, the problem is I see cool weapons, right? And then I look at it and I'm like, man, it's pretty badass. I'd make a whole character around this weapon. And that's literally what happened with the Zaan's weapon pack, because like I just find that this just looks fucking amazing. So I'm like, you know, now I have to make a new character that, you know, specializes in flame weapons, just, you know, to utilize these bad boys. Even the mace looks just absolutely badass. Even the staff too. I mean, just like, look at that. I mean, I don't even know what I would use. Like, of all these, which ones do you think looks the best? The Zaan mace, the great sword, the shield. Because I mean, look at the shield. Or the staff. Gives me like Sauron vibes. The sword for the Arcanist. Oh yeah, definitely the Mora one. The bow looks good too. I realize now that I like completely skipped the bow. I'm just like, nobody's gonna use a flaming bow. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I'm new to ESO, says Paul. Well, welcome. It's one of the best communities that exists. I mean, like, nothing against the bow though, but like, I don't know, the way that the flames like curl on the other weapons is just so much better. It's just such Lord of the Rings vibes too, I feel. Like, you combine this with the helmet from White Gold Tower, you could literally just make Sauron, you know? Like, you could just have him. And I don't know what lore specific weapon he would use. I think Sauron uses a mace. Let me fact check myself here real quick. Sauron weapon. It's a mace. Boom. Look at that. Afternoon, says Jack. Afternoon. And welcome everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Wanted to just show you a couple things. We can enjoy the Twitch drops right now also, so you're more than welcome to soak all those in. It's also probably going to potentially make a new character, level them up, or maybe I'll use one. Let me look actually real quick and see what type of characters I have that I've never fully leveled up. He's a Nord Warden. Ooh. Imperial Dragon Knight. Kind of like the Jedi vibe though. Side needs to be leveled up. Do I have a slot open? Do I have a slot open? Oh, I do have a slot. Right? Yeah, 13 out of 14. Alright. If you guys were going to make a character that was going to be... This is probably a bit too on the nose here. Let me actually start by showing you something different. Put that in the back of your head because I want to show you something that was exceptionally funny when I was scrolling through the YouTube. Hang on. I'll get this set up for you. Oh look, it's my own live stream. You guys want to watch? Hang on. Let me figure out what this is called real quick. I think it's called... Hang on. I don't want to spoil it. Hopefully this doesn't get, there's not like demonetized music in this. All right, let's see. Woo! So it was a video about ESO YouTuber slander part 2. So let me just play you this beautiful video. See, I thought this was hysterical because this is actually fairly. Oh my gosh, it's like fairly accurate if you were to compare like my golden vendor reviews to the real Godzilla's. But like, when you when you're comparing golden vendors and you also add in the luxury furnishing vendors and you're adding things and you comparing things like furnishings and how well they're going to sell in the future, as well as like sets that might not be like, best in slot sets, but sets that'll sell, there's a lot of positive things to say. Plus it's Friday. How can you be sad on a Friday? I'll let the rest of the video play though. So that was the one of the things that I wanted to show you and go over with you. It signed me out in that short period of time. Sorry about that. I had to sign back in like a loser. I thought that was pretty funny. But it's also very accurate because I mean, like, come on now, like. How can anyone just be sad? Like, isn't everyone happy? It's Friday, you get to see if there's exclusive items in the vendor. Like, it's just a great time, that's where I'm like, I feel as positive, or feel so positive. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's how I usually feel. I'm awkwardly having to re-sign it on my computer on something, so I apologize that I'm like staring down. Just gonna like sneakily add drops enabled into my stream name because I forgot to do that because I didn't know that streams drops were enabled when I started to stream. So that's embarrassing on my end. I'm gonna fix that real quick for both YouTube and Twitch, you know, because you know both of them obviously are incorrect. Why does it sign you out so fast? I promise, Elder Scrolls, I'll log back in. Just give me a minute. Just, you know, slow the roll. There we go. Added drops to that thingamabob. Let's go add it to the other one. That way, you know, people know that, you know, you can jump on in here and get some drops. You know, I want you guys to be able to get some drops. But if you were to make a Sauron-esque character, what would you guys do? Would you make him a dark elf? Would you make him a high elf? Would you, you know, like it's a hard question, you know, like what's the answer? That's what I've been like juggling to my self here. Because I wanna recreate him, you know, because, well, truthfully it'll justify my purchase of the Zon's weapons. I can play him. Has anyone else ever received anything other than pots from the drop crate? So, to your question, there's actually the loot pool for Osboro crates. I'll pull it up for you. Loot pool. Osboro crown crates. Hang on. It's actually not as juicy as you would think. Why is it? Hello? Come on. Come on. Where are they? Where are they? What the heck? Well, there is a website somewhere, but it seems like the one that I use is currently not available. So everyone just hold on. Wait a minute. Here it is. Okay. Let's see how this fits on the... So this is actually the loot pool for the Osboro crates. And you can see that it's not super crazy. So, I mean, while it's nice, you know, if you can get them for free, because, you know, you're getting them for free. Oh, there's the cat. How's it going? What's up? What's up? I mean, you have a 1.38% chance, and then your chances are getting one of these two things. Legendary, you have a chance to get research scroll. So like you were saying, even that's still technically a scroll. And then more scrolls and stuff down here. So really, that's kind of the majority of things that you're going to be getting. Unfortunately, you can see that the odds of you actually getting stuff like this is significantly higher. Free is free, though. You are correct. It would just be, I wish that they would have a little bit more variety in, because, you know, they want to help out, you know, the ESO streamers and whatnot. And it helps us out a lot when there's, you know, cool things. You know, if you guys can come in and get some cool shit, you know, I think that's much more helpful. Thank you for the Prime subscription, Frosty Rucker. Also, if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear my cat chirping straight below my mic, because she is being pet right now. Because every time I continue to ignore her, she headbutts my hand. She was like typing on the keyboard. All right, let's bring you all back. Bring you all back to the game. Actually, what is the Osboro crate timer right now? Do you have to watch for, is it, you get one for like what? Probably like 30 minutes, an hour, 50 minutes, whatever silly goose thing that they're doing. Let's see. Thank you. Not interested in whatever that was. Let's bro crown crates. Aha, here we go. 1 hour. I'm guessing you can only have one because that seems to be the trend. Yeah, so you gotta watch for a whole hour. Oh, everyone's telling me an hour. I guess I could have just waited to see you guys all say 1 hour. My apologies. This is what happens when I get distracted. I just start looking. But I do want to make a new character. And I wanted to make it based off of Sauron, you know, because I think that the Zahn's arm pack is like very cool. I'm thinking a Stam DK, maybe a Mag DK, maybe a hybrid, because it seems like that's not kind of viable for these. And thank you, Mabats, for the Prime subscription also. Thank you. I feel like I missed that, and I'm so sorry. Do I have the alert box muted? I'm sorry, I must just be blind. And then there's the, is it Malagina, the monster set from the White Gold Tower? I think that's what it's called. Is that what it is? Nope. Oh no, is it? Yes, it is. There's just nobody selling it here. I was like, oh no, I must have typed it in wrong. All right. Oh, just a crisp 5 mil. Oh, that's not it. Hang on. What's the Gabagoo? What's the one that makes you look like that makes you look like the mouth of Sauron? What one is that? It's got the little crown, the face. You guys know what I'm talking about? Well, my cat tries to dishevel my arm mount. What one is that? So it's a monster set. It's, you know, I don't know why I'm doing this. It's the crown. Hang on, maybe if I Google it, Google will also know. Because I feel like I'm doing a terrible job at describing it. I'm also going to move my cat. You're going to see her fly across the screen here. She's trying to sit on the keyboard. And headbutt my hands. I'll have to distract her. Is that... I feel like that's what it... I thought it was Malagina. I was fairly convinced it was Malagina. Yes. Oh, what failed? She's going back to my hands and my keyboard. No, not the keyboard. Ah! Oh, she's closing tabs now. Panic. All right. Well, this is failing. Does anyone know? Well, my cat dishevels my whole ability to look things up online. Agent of Chaos. I know it's a monster set, and I was so convinced that it was Malagina, but it must not be. I must finish this. There's like nobody selling it either, which is also like kind of sad. It is Malagina from the White Gold Tower. I felt that. I'm pretty sure that's the final boss too. Yep, now she's moving my whole mic arm. She just wants all the attention. Anyone have any ideas? Am I crazy? Yeah, because that's definitely not it. What can I do to prepare for the Arcanist? I would say the Arcanist is probably going to be a fiend when it comes to using certain sets. And I would wager that one of those sets at least is going to be Deadly Strike. That channel that it does is going to be intense. I think that Deadly Strike is going to be an amazing set to sell. But as far as like preparation, it's a bit difficult to answer. Because like, yes, you could stock up on like XP potions and training gear and stuff like that. But it doesn't, you know, how much is that going to help you is always going to be relative to like, You know, do you just want to run in there and have a max level character right away so that you can play? Do you want to have sets and everything ready for them to go, or do you just kind of want to take things slow? It'll depend, I think, a lot on your play style, if that makes sense, because you don't need to obviously have a maxed out Arcanist like day one ready to go. I'll try to move my cat again. I can trick her into sitting here. Sit and pet her. Maybe that'll distract her. Or, I mean, if you want to be like the first one to have one, you know, inside a Grey Host, you know, you can have sets ready. I would say Deadly Strike is going to be a good one, like an amazing set, because it's going to really beef up that channel that it has, and you'll be able to do a lot of damage with it. As far as other sets to go with it, that's really just going to depend on the flavor of things that you like to do. But I definitely think that PvP is going to be pretty intense once it comes out. Oh, plan on making it my main. Woo. So what you could do too is you can make training gear. If you don't know what the best training gear is, I would say focus on probably like level 10 training gear, but you could do level 3, I guess. I would focus on Twiceborn and then Heartland, and then make sure your Heartland, the trait on the weapon is training. That way you get double the training effect. Working, by the way. She's not moving. She's sitting here. Perfect. You can also see how skinny my arms are in this angle. Yeah, so that's kind of what I would do. Oh, and as soon as I stop petting her, she goes to my other hand, which is on my mouse. Gosh dang it. You never win with a cat. Let me tell you. It's because I took a nap earlier, and after I got groceries and made dinner, she was like, "You just left for, you know, half the day. You come back, you don't want to give me any attention. You just want to sleep and, you know, talking to your mic. You don't want to spend time with me." That's what it is. I like. That have any effect? No, that didn't work. Let's get you to move. Oh, my keys didn't work either. Well, now it's a lost cause. I'm still upset that I cannot remember what monster set style is the one that makes you look like the mouth of Sauron. Monster set style pages. I'm just gonna start blindly looking this up. Let's see. Oh, they don't have the photos for all of them. Okay. Not that one. Blades. I am just lost and afraid right now. It's just not coming up. I know that one makes you do it. And I'm pretty sure there was a YouTube video, hang on, that was like ESO's most expensive outfit. Hang on, we're gonna, because I think that had it. We're gonna take a short field trip here, see if we can find that. ESO most. Hey, look, it's a Jake Clips video. Look at that. I love that. This expensive modus. Maybe this will get it to pop up. Look at that. Look at all. Look. Oh, wait, here it is. That's the helmet. Hang on. So we're. I think this is from a new YouTuber too. Sorry, there's an ad on this video. I don't have a YouTube Premium on my creator account. I apologize. Most expensive outfit. This is a great video, by the way.
Hey everyone, I wanted to do a different sort of video today and kind of do one that I just thought of on a whim. And I've never actually seen anyone talk about this before. So I myself am a outfit enjoyer and appreciator, and I would say some of my outfits have pieces that I've spent a lot of gold on. I wanted to see actually what was the most expensive outfit that you could make in the game, because I know there's quite a few pieces out there that are worth quite a few million at the moment. I only wanted to focus on styles that you can buy with gold. Obviously the crown store doesn't count for the style packs and whatnot. So I just wanted to see, like, if someone wanted to
This is a great outfit,
make
by
the
the
most
way.
expensive outfit ever and buy it with all their gold, then, you know, see how much it is and, you know, see what pieces it would be and what it would actually look like. Personally, I think the outfit looks okay. I wanted to do a sword and shield look because I feel like that's probably the coolest, and I'm a tank main as well, so it kind of suits. The dyes, I kind of just randomly chose what looked good, so please don't judge me on that. I'm much better at doing dyes on my actual outfits, alright? So let's take a look at the actual pieces I used to make this outfit and how much they cost individually. Alright, first we're going to start with the chests. I'm using the Ebon Steel Knight Cuirass, and that comes in at 13.1 million average price. The shoulder...
As a quick note here, Ebon Steel is something that you can get in this potentially mid-year mayhem when it comes back up, so we'll be touching base with that when it rolls back around again.
Is the Opal Night Flame shoulder, and that is 10.5 mil average. The gauntlets is, of course, the Ebon Steel Knight gauntlets. That's 3.7 mil average. The waist, surprisingly to me, actually was the Worm Cult girdle, and that comes in at 1.8 mil. The legs, of course, is going to be your Ebon Steel Knight greaves, and that's 1.6 mil average, along with the Ebon Steel Knight sabatons, which are also 1.6 average.
I'm surprised that those are so much cheaper. Legs cheaper than a belt, but
the most expensive piece of this outfit is, of course, the Baron Zodras mask.
That's what it is. Baron Zodras mask. All right,
which is coming in currently at a 29.6 mil average. I don't think I've ever seen a style page ever be this expensive.
This is on PC,
and I'm kind of wishing I hung
so
on to the ones that I farmed.
Probably significantly cheaper on Xbox,
because I had about 5 of them, so it's quite expensive. Moving on to the weapons. The sword is the Knight of the Circle sword, coming in at 4.9 mil average. And the shield is also the Knight of the Circle shield, and that is 4.2 mil average, a bit cheaper than the sword. The Knight of the Circle staff is also the most expensive staff I could find, but I'm gonna be honest here.
I'm actually surprised that it's not Shield of Sensual Shields is the highest shield, but what was it? Is it Baron Zardis? I think that's what it was called. We can head back now to our regularly scheduled program. Sorry everyone for the field trip, but that's a great video, by the way. Highly recommend it. Not just because it's a great reference when you need to find a specific name for an item. And you can see that my cat has finally gone back to being calm and sitting on her actual thing that I built her. You know, because cats always want to be high up, and, you know, this gives that opportunity. ESO? Can we reconnect? Please? There we go. And, you know, soon too, we'll find out, you know, if I'll be making the cut to get to go to the ESO event in April, the in-person one. It'll be pretty exciting. How long have I been playing ESO? So I played ESO on beta, but I played very infrequently. Back when there was veteran levels and you know, all that other gobbledygook. I ended up switching to console, which granted, not a lot of people do, as you can imagine. But I did because my friends play on here. I hope you make it. Yeah, should I do like a in-person vlog, you know, where I'll do one of those videos where, like, you know, I put a webcam right in front of me and then I'm like, you know, in the mornings, and I'm like, it's 6:30 a.m. It's time to get started on the day's events. This is the itinerary. I'm gonna catch up with you guys after blah blah blah, and then you'll be like, just like a live recap of, like, it'll be like some footage of me doing some random nonsense, eating a bagel or something, and then speed running through. Oh, what a tease. The shoulder, 300. If that was the helmet for 300k, I would have probably cried. Tears of joy. Is nobody even selling the helmet? Oh. This is not a great sign. When you're in Mournhold and you can't find something, that's not a great sign. I'm a console transfer too. Well, welcome to console. And I hope you're doing well also, Steven. It's not looking good when you can't find something in Mournhold. This is like the equivalent to going to Walmart, not being able to find something, so you're like, oh shit. Well, maybe they got it at Target. And you're like, it's not at Walmart, it's probably not Target. I'll try Wayrest next, you know. Normally I would try Elden Root next, or if I was on PC I would try Vivek City, but ooh, not looking too good. I have mail. Well, that'll be something for me to do in a minute.
I bet I can bang the dent.
Oof. Do I even want to look to see on Tamriels trading app to see what it's been selling for? I'll probably cry a little bit on the outside. It's not looking good. All right, maybe I was wrong about being hopeful for Wayrest. I can't remember if I did this one. Maybe this is the one. Come on. Damn it. You know, what are the odds that some dude in a refuge is just listed this bad boy up? You know, maybe some dude who's like, you know, in some new free guild trader, you know, off in the boonies is like, hey man, just got this style page. I'm gonna list it up for like, you know, 10 mil. Damn it. Not the ideal start. Also, are you guys excited about the Explorers event? I know that, like, a lot of people are kind of like, you know, I want Mid-Year Mayhem, and I too want Mid-Year Mayhem. I want that to be clear. Mid-Year Mayhem is my favorite ESO event because it combines two of my favorite things: AP farming / PvP, and the ability to passively farm when you get bored and make bajillions of gold. So Mid-Year Mayhem is my favorite ESO event. So just to, like, put that out there and make that clear to everyone. But I'm also excited that they are waiting until the hardware updates come out, so that way when we do enjoy it, you know, we're, you know, not lagging all over the place, because lagging's not fun, you know, for anybody. This shoulder for 2 point. Now, I was so excited because I saw 2.9 mil and I was like, ooh, damn it. This is like going to Target and Walmart not finding something. So you're going to Tesco or something. It's horrible. 15 mil. That's not terrible. 15 mil. I'm gonna make a mental note of where this one is. You watching gold making video, you'd be like, Jake, why'd you make 10 new gold grinding videos on new gold methods? I'll be like, well, you see, my dumbass decided to spend all of it on some dumb shit on a mask on a character that it's not my main character. I haven't really played much since my ESO Plus expired last month. Well, that's kind of tragic. I'm you know, ESO's kind of in this weird lull period too, where it's kind of like this. Why did I teleport here? That's embarrassing. This is not where you need to go. ESO is kind of in that lull period where it's like, you know, where you didn't really have any events active, where you didn't really have a whole lot to do because, you know, we had no event for the whole month. I know a lot of people think that ESO just rapid fires comes out. And what? No, sorry, I had a comment that got blocked. Don't worry, Maximum. I'm doing it. So Maximum, in response to my comment, said, "This is like sitting in your car in the Amazon app with shitty data." Yes. Although there was one, so I might just sell some of my BS garbage and buy that one for 15 mil. We'll see. See how dedicated I am. I also am wondering too, is it the one that makes you look the most like Sauron? I'm wondering too, because I haven't actually looked at a lot of heavy helmets in a long time. So I might do that here also. Is the Jester event happening this month? Yes, it'll probably be the last Tuesday. Is it events usually start on Tuesday, right? And then end on Thursday, or is it end on Thursday or begin on Thursday? Well, it's one of the two. It'll likely be the last week of the month though, especially with the Explorers event. I definitely think that they are just giving us something to kind of pass over the free time. I got spoiled with the crafting bag and not having all the DLCs is kind of rough. What I would say though, to those of you who do not have ESO Plus, having a guild bank can be very helpful, and I would encourage you guys to try to utilize the guild bank wherever possible, especially if it's you and your friends. That's 500 extra spaces. And don't forget, where did my cat just go? Oh, you're wobbling. And don't forget too that you can also use new characters. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll make a brand new character and just throw a bunch of items on them and then just leave them sit until I have, you know, room to sell items. So that could be a good way to like resource manage a lot of your characters also if you're in that situation. Is it any good? I'm quite new. The Jesters event, I would say, is really primarily good for the double XP, if I'm speaking realistically. I do think it's fun, like the quests that you go out and do, but it's not like, you know, there are some events like Mid-Year Mayhem, which will be coming here hopefully soon, that you can literally make millions of gold by standing around, and you can get all of your characters to max AP level, you know, so that can be very helpful for people, even if it's just the skill lines in the Alliance War, or if they're trying to get to leveling up so they can unlock some of the furnishings for their AP rank. So it's hard to compare events like that and the Zenthar and the Jubilee event, which I think that are some of the most like profitable events. And Zenthar event's another really good one. With these events, it's like kind of like the New Life event. If you played the New Life event, I would just define as it's all right, you know, like you're not gonna be, you know, rolling in the dough, but it will also, you know, it's super easy. What I would say though is you get a lot of event tickets in a short amount of time. So some ones are really annoying to farm for event tickets because it'll be like, oh, do a daily quest and Northern Elsewhere and then Southern Elsewhere. You get one ticket for each one, and you're like, oh, I just want my event tickets and, you know, just and do whatever. But here you do a single quest, you get 3 event tickets. So I would say from an event ticket perspective, super easy for what that is worth. I'm excited for the hide shoulders. I am not excited for the hide shoulders, but I appreciate people who are. Oh, my cat's back again. She was distracted for so long. We had so much peace. She decided to need it all come crumbling down again. Looking for help. I'm trying to level up my Sigicom, but I'm lost in finding the quest starter. Hang on, let me answer this guy's question real quick. Memento, I gotta dust out the Xbox keyboard. Oh, that's the wrong one. think it's second. Third in story. I think that's right. Does that anyone know off the top of their head if I'm a truther? I think you, when you're, for those of you who might not be able to easily see it because it was on the bottom right corner and it flashed very quickly, somebody was asking how to start the Sigic Order skill line, and I'm fairly certain that you have to do the second or third main mission, and then it will pop up in the Somerset storyline, which, by the way, the Somerset storyline is pretty baller. Like, I was so ecstatic when I was doing that. I only just started in the dragon event. I'm mainly into cosmetics, to be honest. Well, this could be a good one then. Especially if you like, I believe the Jester's event has furnishings, like pretty unique furnishings. Loved Somerset. I don't know why I said elsewhere. I was thinking dragon event. My brain was... while I don't have ESO plus, I'm doing my research and writing skills. That's the important piece. Truthfully, like that's what's gonna save you in the long run. All right, let's go check out a place of scum and villainy. Let's go check out Riften. I didn't respond. I think I'm correct. Oh, there's just this dead man right here. Level 108. He needs some soul gems. By the way, so if you ever wanted to know a gold method, a retro gold method that is no longer viable, really. So back in the day, soul gems were like very rare. So people used to basically filling soul gems was basically a job that you could do to make gold. It was so unique that I think I might make a retro look back video on it, because there was a time where people would die in PvP and PvE situations and they wouldn't revive you because they were like, well, I can't afford it. You know, it's not really worth it. Not really worth it for me to do. People used to buy soul gems with AP. People used to buy unfilled ones and then fill them up as a method. And I think that's just so fascinating to me. Kind of gave up on furnishings. I started with my girlfriend and we put gold together to buy a house. It's a bummer you can't share a house property. But I mean, you can always travel there and make them a decorator. Like, because you can give certain rights to people, so you can make it to where they're like a permanent furnisher in your house, so that they can, you know, move some things around and whatnot. So I really like Rothscar. The Orsinium storyline was great, and the zone is interesting. I think it's interesting too because of like the you know, it's, if you think about the Rothgar storyline, it's weird because in a way, not to spoil it, but there will be some spoilers in the things that I'm about to say. The Orsinium storyline, the king, who you initially work with, who eventually goes on to try to betray the clan so that he can basically unite Orsinium. I mean, that's the same king that saved High King Emeric's life. And even though what he's doing is wrong, I mean, he's trying to get his people to stop worshipping Malakath. He's trying to unite the clans under one person to start this to stop the fractured fighting. You know, when you kind of do it, you really understand where he's coming from, because he looks at, you know, orcs who basically just get shafted constantly throughout ESO's lore, and a lot of times it's them fighting each other. So he's looking at this like, we got to stop this. So he tries to murder all the clan leaders and tries to, you know, basically, you know, suck up all that power for himself and unite the people. And it's interesting that he's kind of portrayed as a villain and not as I mean, what word do I want to look for? Not at least they don't really give him a lot of sympathy in the storyline, which I thought was kind of interesting. But they also don't really hit upon the how much help he actually does, I guess, too, to the actual Daggerfall Covenant. People ask for free soul gems now, and zone chat is a scam. Yeah, I saw that was pretty funny. Soul gem farming, so true. Exactly. It was bad back in the day. You weren't getting rezzed. You were more likely, if you were in PvP, there could be hundreds of people walking over your corpse. You were more likely for somebody to put down a respawn tent than somebody to use a soul gem on you. I'm also taking Isabel to the Undaunted area and bringing up the Babel Dog to get her rep, for I don't know what good does it though. Leveling up your companion's rapport is just overall, I think, very helpful. It gives you access to some unique quests, unique dialogue options, and taking them to the Undaunted area too, you can level them up in the Undaunted by doing the daily quests there. Not the pledges ones, but the guy that sits up there all alone. You can level up for that piece too. But rapport isn't super important unless they fucking hate you. Then it's important because they hate you and they don't want to spend any time with you. Yeah, we did, but I got a load of antiquities furnishings and you can't share those. That does suck. Red guards get shafted too. That is also true. But in the storyline for the red guards, it's less like subtle. Like it's interesting too, because like originally you work with the king in the Rothgar storyline, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, they maybe work with this guy and they turn him into the villain, but like, is the villain wrong? Shouldn't I be helping him? I'm surprised they didn't give you an option, but I guess, you know, that would be a little bit on the nose. It'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go, you know. You know what, honestly? You do some pretty bad things in some of these storylines. I don't even think it's that bad. I mean, you literally are in the Dark Brotherhood, so like, can you really be like? I mean, your character's not exactly squeaky clean. I mean, let's look. You're also in the Thieves Guild. Like, they're not really known to be Boy Scouts over in the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood. I take my statements back. You know, I think that they should have let us pick. Should we have picked the king or picked the clans? Maybe picking the clans is the evil option because you're basically just damning them to anarchy for another era, basically. This is just a very long tangent about orcs and their history. I don't know why I'm going off on this, but I feel very passionately about this. There's only one guild trader here. I don't know why I like decided to run over to this specific one. Maybe this is the one. Squizzy's Trade Federation. Nope. Sad. It's the real end game. Yes, furnishings is the real end game. Going back to headbutting hands again. Freaking doofus. Doofus. It's just crazy to think that there might only be one total listed in the entirety of the Xbox NA servers. That's just bonkers to me. These aren't guild traders, these are home good furnishers. Even better. I don't even know where else to look. What are some other, I mean, have I missed any big popular trading areas? Maybe go check out Rothgar. It's because we've been talking about it so much. I feel like there has to just be more than one listed, you know? Maybe there doesn't. Maybe I'm just a silly goose. Fucking cat. My goodness. Although if we talk about getting shafted, you know, really a lot of the races in the Elder Scrolls are getting kind of screwed. Oh, and my cat is closing tabs. Clicked on an ad. I don't need any Nike shoes, but thank you.
Walls are incredible. Did you know this isn't the first city to bear the name?
How can I?
Oh, she's going back to her spot, hopefully.
I wonder if it won't.
Oh, well, she's rolling around. You can see her just barely rolling off screen here. What are you doing? You're rolling for the people. If this isn't worth a like on the stream, I don't know what is. Got a cat that's rolling for you. That's a good example for needing a combined auction house system. I do wish that they had some sort of auction system, but I don't know how you would do it. And I also feel like even the tiny auctions that they do in ESO, like for example, let's say a guild is hosting an auction, rarely do you really get any good deals. I feel like a lot of the auctions that I see are almost over market price because people are trying to support the trade guilds that they're in. Because a lot of times they'll be run by like the guild leaders themselves. So I feel like I just don't see a lot of really good deals in auctions. That's why I generally don't go to auctions. It's not that I don't enjoy them. It's just kind of like I don't see enough, you know, oomph for me to want to do them. And her name is Evie. I got her while working one day on the job. That is an aggressive mammoth. We're gonna ignore that mammoth. I don't. Maybe Somerset. Somerset's, I guess, a pretty popular trading area. Gotta be somebody somewhere. There's a Destiny looking for group. Oh, who would have guessed? Everyone's like, you guys want to play some Lightfall? No, everyone's. It's an ESO game. It's ESO time. Already took too long off, you know, playing Hogwarts Legacy. We got to get back in the swing of things here. Not hopeful though. Person, see them in zone. Oh, they're like a little mobile trades person. It's pretty. See, if you want to sell consumables, this is not a bad way to do it, by the way. And thank you, Maximum. Or Maxim, I'm sorry. I feel like I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap, and Maximum is one of the cards that you can use. And I feel like I've like combined that card into your name. But yes, if you need to sell consumables, this is a great way to do it. Just go zone to zone, and then just sell them. Because truthfully, you can make a lot of gold that way because consumables are pretty sought after, but they're also, you know, you're competing against a lot of people when you sell them, especially if you're on an open market. In that, if you list it up, say for example, in a guild trader, not only do you have to lose the listing fee and the taxes on it, but you also are going to be losing because people are going to undercut you so that they sell faster constantly. So those are all things you have to keep in mind when you're listing consumables, but you don't have any of that when you sell in zone, unless people are like, mail it to me, and then you can mail it to them, whatever, potato, potato. Oh, Craglorn. I totally forgot that Craglorn, that people go there sometimes to, you know, enjoy the ambiance of Craglorn. Look at all these people. One of these guys has probably got this listed up.
On the move.
Let's see. Not hopeful. Notification for. Oh.
How may I serve?
This is sad. Oh, well. I was hopeful with that long Long time there. Long loader. Was not meant to be. I will be right back though in just 1 minute. Be like 45 seconds and I'll be back. We'll grab some water.
No charge to have a look.
All right, and I'm back. Sorry about that. Let me readjust this a little bit. Scooch forward. Are you going to do the obstacle course again? Yes, that's we are going to do it again. I don't know exactly when. I'm trying to get some of the international viewers a chance to run it. So you might see a stream very early, like 6 a.m. one day. I also at some point might make another one, maybe like a vertical obstacle course. That way you can kind of like view it from the top. What are you doing over there? He's just rolling around. Knocking over my stuff. Knocking everything over. Grab onto my arm. Oops. That sounds interesting. Thank you. So I just want to try to get up as much different people that didn't get a chance to do it last time. You know, that's kind of my big thing. For doing it again, I don't even know what other zones are worth checking. Maybe like Western Sky or Arkarth. Traders are like right here. Sad. You guys are getting the Twitch crate though, you know. You guys will be able to get yourself some maybe some try potions. That'd be exciting. Maybe a non-combat pet if the divines shine upon you, you may be able to get one of those bad boys.
If you see a pawn shop, give a shout. I want to get a gift for Aurelia.
Take an adventure to the outfit station here in a minute too, just to see what are some other good helmets that could potentially be viable here. I feel like I've seen a Squizzy's trade merchant. Squizzy's got multiple Squizzies. There's Squizzy Empire. I've saved up 7k crowns and 17 endeavors, but nothing I really see that I want in the crown store. Biggest thing that I purchased recently, and I might grab this too, is just because I love the Daedric weapons, especially with the Arcanist coming out, is the Zaan's arm pack. I mean, the weapons here I just think are absolutely phenomenal to look at. I mean, just the fire on that bad boy looks fucking dope. I mean, just imagining whacking somebody over the head with that looks pretty satisfying. But I wanted to look for a specific helmet, but I'm not seeing it. I'm just waiting to get stuff at the Jesters Festival. Well, don't fret too. You know, the event that we're currently in is pretty good. I would encourage you guys to do your daily writs. Obviously, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of just gold for doing so. 10k gold just to do all your daily writs. Just turn them in. So it's pretty penny, especially if you're on console. And you're gonna get those gold mats, obviously, and everything too. I usually buy weapon packs with my crowns. I'm the same way. That's where this staff comes from. But this one too is pretty. I love the Opal Engine Guardian staff. I think that's just one of the coolest staffs in the game. It's double for writs. I've been doing them. Good. Dawn looks cool. I want the one that makes a noise when you pull it out. I'm trying to think which one that is. Come on, you sons of bitches. Alright, well, I'm going to check Galen, and then I'm going to go and see what other helmets could also look good. Not to say I might buy the one for 15 mil, but I also don't know if that's like the most accurate one. And then I have to think too, like, what race do I want to make them? What do you guys think? Sauron, Mag DK, Stam DK, Dark Elf, High Elf? You know, what Imperial? Should we start collecting companion gear or anything? Are you talking about before the new event comes out? I do think that if you want to collect companion gear for the release of the new companions, that could be a good usage of your slots. What I would say though too is that companion gear is one of those things that it's either in the right trait or it's garbage. So just keep that in mind. Yes, before the nuke. Yeah, so that's kind of what I would say is like keep in mind like traits are everything with companion gear. Ethereal or mythical ethereal ambrosia stack with the W's or MV or M. Yeah, my brain is. Woo. Jake drops. Yep, we got the drops on here. And I think that this is the end of the line, Kato, or whatever they say in The Last Wish, which apparently was a really good movie. I did not see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, but I heard it was very good, or what it was. Got the Emperor title recently. Good job. Think you were talking about it on a stream or something and planted the seed in my brain to go after it. It was on a whim, but I watched your video as I went. Well, that's good. Did you check Raw Kawala? It helped. Thanks. Yeah, of course, Texas Chainsaw. That was actually one of the videos that you guys requested, was an how to become the Emperor video. I want to look here right now, Salty. Is that a style? I'm not familiar with that name. My brain is not computing as to that style. Let's change. Or is that a place? My brain is just functioning. Let's look at helmets here real quick. Keeping in mind too, we'll be able to dye these. I do like this helmet. I don't necessarily think it fits, but this is oh, it's a town. That's embarrassing. Is that what zone is that in? These helmets are very unique. Also don't know why I decided to do it in this way. Ooh, Worm Cult looks pretty good. That looks pretty Sauron-esque. Worm Cult. I mean, granted, this is also a fucking ridiculously expensive motive, but I think it's a good looking one. It just kind of has that black with the side of like, because he has that like that back piece on him. We'll go up this time instead of doing whatever I was doing last time. I like glass, but that's not. Elden Root. Oh yeah, one of the elven places. Ice Reach Coven, Malakath, Mazatoon. Look at this helm. Oh, it is so flamboyant. Fire Song. Bargrave Guardian helm looks pretty good, actually. I like that. Drowned Mariner. Oh, that look, I mean, if you ever want to make a pirate, I think all of the hats here look pretty good for them. Dragon Guard, Crimson Oath, Cold Snap, not too bad. Celestial, and Assassin's League. These are gonna. Well, Annihilators isn't too far off. Ancient Daedric also looks pretty good too. Ancestral Reach, Ancient Orc, Ancient Nord, Ancient High, Ancient Breton. Ancient Breton. Keep in mind that like this costs like you know, hundreds of thousands of gold, and I just feel like it just doesn't look that good. Now the Akaviri looks good. I was watch. What do we got? I also think True Sword just looks also really good. And Steadfast Society. Like if you ever need a if you ever needed a helmet, it just looks so badass. Like it's like a universally badass looking helmet. Then you get the Soul Shriven helmet. Skin Changer. Skin Changer looks pretty good too. The Sapiarch. I'm not seeing anything that's like jumping out to me. Night Hollow. Night Hollow I think is actually pretty accurate. The problem with ESO is that you can't like put hoods on. You know, I wish they'd give you the ability. Morag Tong, what are you looking at? I like the horns and stuff, makes me look like a boss. I think the horns are pretty cool on a lot of these helmets. Honor Guard. Look at the Honor Guard one. Hollow Jack. Lulu. High Elf. Greymore. None of these are jumping out to me. Ashlander. Look at that. This is so derpy. Akaviri does look pretty good. I do like the Akaviri one. Alright, what do we got here? Freeze Will. Worm Cult. Wayward Guardian wouldn't be bad if it didn't have that weird back on it. Marias. Elvani. Steers. This has just become a complete outfit show off, basically. I'm sorry, this isn't as riveting as it was before running between traders. I feel like I should have more outfit styles, you know. I feel kind of broke. Corrosion Oath actually looks pretty good. Annihilator's Chosen is an interesting design choice. How do you see out of this? You know, I'm not one to point out design flaws unless we're talking about shoes. But this is interesting. Biggest Stam or Mag Alchemist? I don't know. Did you mean Arcanist? Because I'm thinking too, like, I don't know what's going to be more viable. Like for PvP, I feel like generally stamina is usually easier, especially if like you have the ability to do ranged stamina attacks. Man, Sapiarch Helm is just fucking dope. Let me just look at that. That's so badass looking. Hollow. I think Stam, Arcanist are just gonna be busted. You know, the ability to teleport and zip and zap around. Because usually, you know, Mag's whole, you know, ability to do damage, you know, versus, you know, Stam's ability to do more damage versus Mag is that you generally have to be like right on top of the enemy to do damage, versus Mag, who can be like, you know, 50 feet away. So, you know, and Mag usually has more mobility, so they usually hit harder. But like that's been kind of going away a little bit, I feel, in a way. I feel like Stam, and with the hybridization of things, it's not quite that cut and dry anymore like it used to be. Like, oh, you know, Stam is more of the I'm on your, you know, I'm on your tail, I'm, you know, tickling your pickle. And then, you know, Mag is, I'm a fast, speedy boy who can do a lot of damage from far away. But chill. Not always, obviously. There are exceptions to that, but I feel like that used to be the rule, and slowly, like over the years, it's becoming more and more not quite like that anymore. I do like this mask quite a bit. I wonder what this would look like dyed. My cat's back, sitting on my keyboard, causing chaos. Anyone have any questions, by the way, about ESO, things to farm? So tomorrow will be the market watch for March. I'd say Annihilator for Sauron. The light, medium, or heavy. Let me go back and look at that. Have any questions though? So tomorrow will be the market watch video for March. That will be the kind of the breakdown of like this next like upcoming month period. Annihilator does look good. I just wish that you could have like higher shoulders, you know, for example. What is Annihilator's from? Oh, it's from Atlanta's Oblivion portals. Huh. It's just such a weird looking helmet. So unique. Maybe that's how I'll describe it. This actually, this in light, I actually like this a lot. This looks pretty good. This actually, I think you may have sold me on it. Headlands Oblivion portals. I wonder how much this even sells for. We'll put a screenshot here so I don't forget. What is my favorite class and place to farm? So my favorite class is Sorcerer. I played Sorcerer like the majority of my ESO career. I know the Sorcerers like aren't the best and whatnot, but like, all right, let's, you know, whip out the thought experiment here. You can still get some pretty badass stats with the Sorcerer. So like 51.4k mag, 30k health, you know, with 2200 health recovery, you know, good spell damage, decent penetration. This is the back bar also too. The front bar, you need a little bit more, a little bit more penetration on the front bar. So I think I'm just a huge Sorcerer fan. Obviously you've got mobility, you've got shields, you've got all sorts of nice things. So I'm a huge Sorcerer fan. I know, unfortunately, like everyone else seems to get tons of buffs and everything and whatnot. Like DKs are constantly just given all these nice things, and us Sorcerers are just kind of over here like, can we get a buff? And then the game's like, no. Now your Crystal Frags is even less damage. Kill yourself, nerds. You want to be a Stam Sork? Gross. Nerf that also. And you're just like, favorite place to farm though, actually a huge fan of farming Battlegrounds. I wish that the elo system, the matchmaking was a little bit better. or MMR, matchmaking rankings, whatever it's called, was a little bit better because it's like it's character based, which I think making it character based is good. But I also feel like if I like made, you know, or when I did make this a Stamsork, I literally was still facing people in the highest like battlegrounds brackets because I've played this character for so long and I've like gotten so good with him. So I wish that they let like maybe like reset it or lower your MMR the longer you don't play and whatnot. But I do like farming battlegrounds. I like farming daily dungeons. I also like farming heists. I think that that's one of the more unique mechanics. So if you ever want to go farm some heists, head on down to the Thieves' Den. I like farming daily quests. I think the best places to farm daily quests will always vary. But right now, Galen is just selling really well. So you can always farm in Galen and keep Isabel out with you too, because she's always so happy, you know, doing those little world bosses and whatnot. So yeah, that's how I would answer that. And good job on the crate. Hopefully you get something good. Enjoy your potions. Had to farm that damn portal dungeon on Deadlands to collect that motive. Did it take a long time, Neil, sir, to get it? Was it like horrible? Is it gonna be like terrible to farm? Should I be worried? I think you meant Ember. No, Isabel is the one that she gets real happy when you kill world bosses. She's like, woohoo, a dead world boss, hooray. I also like to do the world boss dailies and the anchor dailies or world event dailies. They're okay. Actually, we'll go do those now while we're chit-chatting, you know, sitting around singing Kumbaya and talking about our feelings. I actually feel like Neil Sir just picked out the Annihilators because he's like, I had to suffer to farm for that motive, so now Jake, you're gonna suffer to farm for that motive. Which, you know what? Honestly, fair. Here's the other big kicker, though. What race do we think that Sauron would be? I think I lean towards. I don't know what I lean towards. I feel like I'm split. I feel like I am absolutely split between high elf and dark elf, and then kind of as like a weird shout, I think some like a little bit of imperial, because like he's a fallen, you know, Maiar or whatever the word is. I think. So I don't know, like, you know what I mean, like dark elf, high elf, and then I'm trying to think what would be better for PvP purposes, you know. I failed. I didn't know you could fail part of that quest. That's kind of sad. Misery loves company. This is true. Pew. Hopefully it's not like finishing as I get here. Oh, there's not that many people here. Oh, that's the wrong bar. It's also my PvP stuffs, but YOLO. What? Got herself back into some chaos again. I remember when I was farming the dragon event, and I would like use Mage's Fury on like the full health dragon, and he was like, "Why are you Mage's Furying a full health, you know, 14 million boss?" And I was like, "You never know when its health is gonna be, you know, reduced down. You know, you just always have to be ready. You know, always have to be ready just in case." That meteor land, I feel like that meteor landed like all the way over there in the trees and not anywhere near where the actual event is going on. Pretty sure Sauron is an elf, but since he's the villain, I'd say high elf. Do you prefer Fighters Guild builds or weapon based? Not a huge fan of Fighters Guild builds. Not anymore. I feel like they used to be really good back in the day. Used to see the silver bolts fairly frequently. Yeah, and I agree with you that Sauron is an elf, but do you think dark elf or high elf? Because like he does have that, you know, dark elf-esque look, you know what I mean? Because he's a fallen Maiar, I'm pretty sure. So that's where I'm struggling, because I could see either or. I think I might make him a dark elf, and then I think what's better, you know? What would be better for deer, like what's more viable for a DK, a high elf or a dark elf? I lean towards dark elf, but I feel like I could go either way. And then so like then you think to yourself, right? So like Sauron was the clan chief of werewolves, but he was also a vampire, I believe, because he would like turn himself into bats every so often. So like, you know, how do you factor in those things as well? Like if you're trying to build a lore specific, like accurate character, you know, how do you put all that into, you know, factoration? You know, we're gonna try to redo this one. I hate maybe this. There are some zones that I just hate traversing, and Galen has like snuck up as one of them, because like some parts of the map are just it's just annoying to travel through, and this is definitely one of like those parts. I'd say high up because I'm getting high right now. Well, I need to think what's viable long term, unfortunately. That way if I go to Cyrda, I don't get shafted. And I don't really play, I'll be truthful, and this might sound completely stupid. Really, I only play Breton because I feel like they're the most human-like class. I used to play them all the time. Granted, you could argue maybe that Nords or Imperials are the most human-like class, but I like the, you know, the little tiny bit of magic that they had, so I always kind of went with them. Well, that's not a good sign. Nobody here is dead. So that's really the only reason my main character is a Breton. So that's where I'm kind of like, you know, I don't really have like the greatest justification for being a Breton. I just think it's neat, you know. I think it's just kind of cool. You're like, hey, you're like a little magic-y, not magic boy. You know what I mean? Like, you're not an elf. You're not an asshole, because that's kind of what elves are. Plus, too, how can you play Skyrim and be like, oh yeah, I want to be a high elf? Like, no, high elves are a bunch of dickheads.
Good quality there.
I usually play anything but humans. Well, that's the exact opposite of what I do. Sadly. Well, not sadly, it's just my preference. Or this is one of those bosses that you can solo. I feel like this is one that sucks ass. I'll come back to it. Well, we'll try. I'll embarrass myself in front of all of you. My PvP gear. My skill bar, like, oh, that's not what I want to do. Pro strat, always go for the streak mid-fight. Discombobulates them. They don't know what to expect. What in the world? Whoa. This one is usually quite happy as a Khajiit. Oh, this is a mechanic. I don't quite understand that, but alright. Khajiit, like, I don't know. I used to play as an Argonian, you know, back in the Oblivion days, but I just enjoy Bretons, you know. I feel like they're they're just the chillest. High King Emmerich also is just, he's like, yeah, I'm a dude, man. He's like, you know, it'd be real cool if, you know, the lands around Cyrodiil were ruled by somebody with, you know, some competence, and everyone around, you know, would be kind of cool if we could all just get along. And then you've got, you know, the Nord guy who's just like, kill, kill, kill. it's my honor and blah blah blah. And Emmerich's just like, all right guys, can we just let some, be reasonable here? And then the Thalmor are just like, oh, the high elves are so great. You don't let people into Somerset until you buy the DLC. Sounds like you need to try a new character that you haven't played. Oh, that's what I'm trying to do, Rick. I'm gonna make a DK, which I haven't played a DK in a very, very long time. I'm just trying to make him look like Sauron. That's like the motivation for what I've been doing. Any updates on the all-in-one station? I actually don't know how exactly that's gonna work yet. What lead did I get? Panels of the Earth Bones. Interesting. I do think that it will destroy the writ economy. So the only way that the writ economy will not be, and it will still probably be destroyed, is if they make the all-in-one station purchasable with writs. And then you'll see a very high demand for writs when it comes out, and then you'll slowly see writs kind of dwindle away as a currency. How did you get here again? I think I'm in the wrong way, sure. I think I need to go to the other one. Greetings all. Been gone for 6+ years researching a return. I'm lost, of course. Thanks for the ESO content. It's actually super easy, to get back into ESO. They've made a lot of quality of life changes. The number one curated drops. Now, before in Elder Scrolls Online, when you were farming things like dungeons, you did obviously have different chances on bosses on what you could get. For example, body pieces from not final bosses, and then weapons and jewelry from final bosses. But now it's not just that concept, but now you're also guaranteed to get an item that you don't have on a boss. So, for example, you will still only get body pieces from non-final bosses, but you will always get a piece you do not have in your sticker book. Same with final bosses on weapons and jewelry. So it is significantly easier to farm and complete these. It also works with monster masks, but it does not count for chests. Chests are non-curated drops, but it means filling out your sticker book will be significantly easier. Traits, you are able to transmute items. So if you have a trait researched, you are able to take an item. Say, for some reason, I had this restoration staff of the Undaunted Infiltrator. You're able to take it from one trait and transmute it into another. The other quality of life change is that you can see this little cost symbol here. And you can see that I have transmute crystals. I have 502 out of 1,000. I'm actually able to also not only pay 50 to trait something from one trait into another trait, you can also reconstruct items from the void as long as you've previously had that item bound into your sticker book. So as far as like set collecting and whatnot, there's a lot of quality of life changes. But as far as like other things, I would say, just look at like what you want to do. PvP, PvE, the housing end game is like very high. A lot of people love furnishings. There's lots of stories. I mean, you think about how much storyline content there is. Just zooming out, and thinking how many quests there are is pretty nuts. Thousands of hours of quests, and they're all voice acted. They're all good. I mean, there obviously are some, weird quests here and there, and, generic fetch quests, but like they're voice acted. They're usually pretty well done, even if it's just a filler quest. And I think it's pretty good. Armory station, good point, Tim. You can now save basically preset builds, which has been pretty baller as well. So basically you can use a armory station, which is a free item. You can put it inside of your house. It's free. Or you can find them in the overworld, and you can save presets. You can have preset attributes, Mundus stones. You can use it to give yourself werewolf, vampire, and flip between it. So that's been pretty helpful. Stay-in mag is a great way. You can switch between tank healers and other good things. I figure what I'm supposed to do for this quest because I don't have it. Oh, place a trial marker. Because I don't have my things on. Ooh! There you go. Have you tried without log if you have the Game Pass? What's free with with the Game Pass? Like ESO is free with the Game Pass, or there's there some expansion or anything that's free with with the Game Pass in the world? I'm trying to think of some other things that are just generally helpful. Leveling up, it's double XP right now too, and it's double gold from quest completion. So if you're just out there farming quests, this is a great time to do so also. First few notes, all I did was quests and side quests. Had a blast. Yeah, I think it's good. You know, the quest in here. Oh, it's a game called Without. It's a new game that just came out. I was like, what is WO? I was like, in ESO. And I thought you meant Without. That makes more sense. I'll look at it here when I do this. I'm a huge fan of the history of the Three Kingdoms, but WO long doesn't hit the mark in my book, but it looks good. Interesting. I'll have to look here in a second. We'll go turn in this stuff here, and then we'll take a look at this mysterious WO. And then we can see if we can get some gourmand sets, because that sells nicely. Alright, what do we got? Not the gourmand set. Not the gourmand set. And the gourmand set. Great. This, by the way, that lead that you saw me just got, I had to farm that for hours. Multiple characters. Didn't have way shrines. So that's stupid freaking I don't even remember what it was for. Probably a furnishing item. When's the next mass farm hard content stream? So unfortunately, one of our friends who's deployed doesn't have access to internet right now, Neilster, so we don't really have him to fill in the gap of our tank. So I don't know exactly when. And unfortunately, the Zon's mask is just not really worth farming. Let's also check out what WO was. So we're kind of just, you know, doing normal things. Oh, look, here it is. Is this? Oh, it's a pre-install. Wait, pre-install or play? Oh, it's included with Game Pass. Okay. Dragon Soars. I'm scared to play the trailer for any copyright strikes, but I'm guessing this is like a 3 stars. Yeah, less than 3 stars. What's the controversy around this? What's the reason it's rated so low? Or the ratings? Okay, it's 3. Well, we're off to a good start. Some of the best boobs, customization, and boob physics I've ever seen. Not terrible, definitely not great. Having beaten 2 bosses so far, I can say that the game is relentless and will absolutely put off so many people. I would not blame them at all. The first fight against something long and hard to pronounce is definitely overkill in terms of difficulty. You essentially have to play perfectly or be destroyed. The game also has a massive emphasis on grinding with a moral system, especially. It can make it break. Oh, a lot of stuff there. I pressed the button, the game. If you love the feeling of not having your button inputs being registered, this is the game for you. First boss is QPI, or oh, I'm sorry, OP exclamation point. That's my eyes read that completely wrong. It was fun until first boss transforms with no checkpoints. Was ridiculously hard. Great game, but AI don't help. Died 36 times. Listen to the low reviews. This game is kicking my ass. I love it. What the fuck? Why do you put such a hard boss in? Reviewing after approximately 6 hours. I wonder if he's on the first boss. I like the game, the feel of other physics. They want to punish you. Dark Souls. Yep. People are afraid to say they don't like the game because get good. It's just sad. Well, I mean, people aren't afraid. It's got 3 stars. Stuck on the first boss. Tutorial mega boss. If you're a Souls fan and a masochist. I thought I said misogynist for a second. My brain went to the wrong thing. You'll love this game. What the hell? No matter how much I grind the second form, this too OP, bro. Needs a mega nerf. Look at all these false 1-star reviews. Oofed. It's too hard. Yeah. I chew the first boss for breakfast, this man says in his 5-star review. Good God, the first boss was hard. Salty, so give us a description here. All we hear is this magical first boss. What is the thing? Oh, so, okay. All right. Why? Oh, what was to say? So he calls his ratings 4 stars, but he's got 5 stars. The ratings it's 4 until they fix the multiplayer issues. Interesting. Your companions help. Dodge and parry 1 button. Stop catering to the mental illness. Interesting. One star for each body type. He's titled it Noise, but he gave it 1 star, and he's talking about the first boss. I'm just curious as to this first boss. Pointless. Too hard for new players. First boss sucks. The jiggle fidget. So really, it sounds as though that basically the pros are cleavage and the cleavage physics, and the cons are the first boss and the game registering inputs, and the AI is not helpful, which interesting. Not every game needs to be Dark Souls. Interesting. Trash. Poop. Trash. Interesting. Not the rabbit hole I thought I would go down, but I'm always looking at games. Just leveled a DK recently. Pretty fun. The skills feel pretty good with the 2-hand execute. Whoa. It's like Elden Ring meets Dynasty Warrior. See, I just don't like games like that, if I'm being truthful. Not that I have like anything against games like that. I certainly don't by any means, but I just prefer multiplayer games like these, you know, like MMOs, you know, where you can kind of come, grind, and whatnot. There are some games I like too, like obviously I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so Harry Potter Legacy was, you know, the shit. But you can see my repertoire of games is very limited. Now, this doesn't include the games that I can cloud play. So, like, I do play Fallout 76 occasionally. And Call of Duty Warzone is really just for friends that hate each other and we just want to feel blood rage late at night. No Man's Sky, I think, is just another really good game that I think deserves, you know, a lot of love. I'm also hoping to see what kind of Bethesda's take on, you know, their version of that when they make their Starfield game. And Stellaris, I'm a huge Stellaris fan. It'd be a Stellaris channel if there was an audience for it. My notifications. So I was looking for group posts. And the cat's back. What's up? What's up? You got something to say? You want to say something to the peoples? You just want to sit and chirp? Yeah? What's up? What are you doing? Oh, no, she's gonna lay down. Are they still thinking about cross saves? I have a baller Xbox account, but I'm on PC, so now grinding again. I don't know how they would do cross saves because it's such. The problem is the economies are so different, and like truthfully, there would be a lot of people that would be screwed if they did any sort of cross saves. The only way they could do it is if they didn't allow you to take your currency with you. If they made currency specific to one console versus another. For example, you could grind gold on Xbox and PC and take your character, you know, between the two of them, but you couldn't take like your, because they're, I mean, let's be realistic, they're billionaires on PC. You know, the ESO economy would be destroyed on Xbox if, you know, just a moniker of that wealth came over onto the platform. So it would be something that they would have to really be careful. Plus, every single Xbox guild trader that plays, like in Mordhold, for example, is now going to have to compete with said billionaires who are going to be bidding, you know, 10 times as high as people have to right now. So those are all things that they're going to really have to take into consideration when they have those conversations. So I don't know how they're going to be able to implement that. But I'm sure that, you know, they're always thinking about things like that, though. I am bad at parrying. I guess it also depends on the game, because I feel like the how much leeway they give you with dodging, I think, is essential to determining if I'm good at it or not. What's the term, like iframes or whatever, or it's like how much like leeway they give you, especially too if it's like if it's a game where you can dodge and basically be immune while you're dodging. That I could probably do that. Forgot about the economy difference. PC's way more expensive. Yeah, and I think that like you see games like Destiny can do it because, you know, there's really no currency that you have to worry about. ESO, I mean, like there are people who live off of the ESO like economy. There are actually people who sell gold, you know, to live off of, and you know damn well that if they could sink their teeth onto PC gold and resell it on Xbox, like it would flood this market. So I think it's possible, but I think that would be what they would have to do. But then you have to think to yourself too, well, like, could you, well, I'm trying to think, like, because even if they made some cattywampus system where like your gold on PC and Xbox and your AP and your writs and your Telvar was separate, like two separate currencies, you could still in theory take all your ESO gold on PC, buy like 10 super high valuable things and then resell them on Xbox, you know, and then you could take the gold over. So like you would have to really think a lot of that stuff through. I don't know how they would do it. If I go to Vegas, you know, talk to the developers, I'll be like, what's the plan for this, huh? What are we thinking, team? Evie? Do you get extra XP for Tales of Tribute from this event? It would definitely help the grind. You should, yeah. You should. It's from all sources, so yeah, yeah, should. And don't forget, if you are farming Tales of Tribute, whoo, I dropped my my controller. Like how I think that Somerset is freaking high. All my brain is just boop, 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 boop. Don't forget to grab the daily quest, because the daily quest, if you can beat 3 players, like real living breathing humans, you can actually get a gold rewards box, which can give you actually access to some really good things. What you doing there, kid? You know what they're thinking though. Money, money, money. Honestly, like, from Zos's perspective, doesn't really give him any more money, you know, like from like a, you know, a bot network perspective, gives you a shit ton of money. But from a ZeniMax perspective, does it give you more money? I don't think so. That's what I don't know. Like that, and it would be very hard to do, mind you, too. Like, do you really think that like Destiny, for example, really like super benefits from it? Like they're, you know, making all this extra money because they have like cross saves? That's what I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think out loud and try to think to myself, because you have a lot of people who maybe instead of quitting would transfer to PC because they watch a lot of YouTubers who, you know, have all these add-ons that basically play the game for them. So maybe from like that aspect, you could say like, well, they would likely, you know, which by the way, I do feel like they get a lot of love on PC when it comes to add-ons, like, and like really like helpful things, like especially with parsing, like that little like breakdown it gives you for some of those add-ons, like that would just be so helpful to have. I really wish that they would they'd give us that, because that would be exceptionally helpful, but they don't, at least not yet. But if you're watching ZeniMax, please. So because, but from a profit perspective, I mean, I don't think that they would get anything. I think that ESO is one of the most fair profit schemes ever. That might be a hot take, probably too hot to really drop, you know, on a live stream where I can, you know, basically get caught saying, you know, horrible opinions out loud. But if you like think about Elder Scrolls as like monetization, everything you're looking at right now, you don't need. Nor do I even think any of it's really that good, except for the Zon's pack, because that was pretty baller. I don't even know why I have this. I don't know why I have that, but like this, and you know, the styles and stuff can pretty much be unlocked. Like you can get the Clockwork City, you can get that through ESO Plus, which gives you crowns. People sell crowns for gold, so if you farm enough gold, you can buy pretty much any DLC you want. A lot of these bundles really aren't necessary. Any race, any alliance comes pretty much free with the game, which you can buy, mind you, for like $10. Or I think it might even be free with Game Pass. So you like consider the crown store and whatnot, and it's like, you could argue it's like pay for utility, like with the merchant and the banker, but it's like, you know, is that really unfair? You know, I don't know. I personally think that the monetization in ESO, and by the way, so somebody didn't know this, so the bag space upgrades and the bank space upgrades do not have to be purchased with crowns. 90% of you probably already know this. The couple of you that do not, you do not have to buy bag space and bank space upgrades from the crown store. Now these random pets you do, and if you want extra account wide space you can, but as far as these, do not buy them with crowns. Excuse me. It's just how they present their product. I would agree that they do push the crown store on you, and making you come to the crown store to get some free items like the armory, you know, thing, and you know, oh, you know, come get your quest starters. It's, you know, it's right next to, you know, this baller looking, you know, weapon here, and you're like, I kind of want this. So I mean, I totally get it. Don't get me wrong. I freaking hate these spider things. I think that they're so stupid. But But even like the mounts and whatnot, like, yeah, there's like cool mounts, but you know, you can get cool mounts from a lot of different things. I cannot believe though that they made the ugliest fucking 2-person mount in all of existence. And the only reason I own this, by the way, is during Mid-Year Mayhem, me and my friend would take turns riding around each other, doing the AP train. And then they make one that looks like actually not ugly, you know, later, which is kind of BS to me. But I mean, what do you guys think? I think the Crown Store is pretty great. I'll probably get in trouble saying that, but like, when you consider how much stuff is in the game, like, there are mounts tied to scrying, achievements, there's cosmetics tied to quests, side quests, achievements. There's, you know, personalities tied. There's like every single zone in the game has a furnishing vendor that you can unlock like exclusive furnishings by doing like cool things. And I feel like there's just so much in the game. Like, I don't feel like you ever really have to, like, let me say it like this. I probably buy 1 or 2 things from the Crown Store a year. That's why I think it's fair. And maybe that's kind of an unfair way to look at it, because I don't really, like, I have ESO Plus, so you could say, well, that's kind of their monetization. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's just common though. Like when you look at like World of Warcraft and other like live service games that, you know, are good. Like that's just kind of like expected, and it's kind of how I look at it, at least. So I don't know. Maybe I am losing bajillions of subscribers right now. I certainly could be. Everyone's like, Jake, you freaking Nimrod. It's the dual spider kept getting pushed back. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it was like a bug or something. So they're like, all right, we have to put an ugly one in. I have the double mount because my dad switched to PC from console. It helps us get around until he gets his mount speed. No, it's a good way to do it. One thing that would make the game better is a free craft bag, and the player base would skyrocket. Most of my friends quit due to inventory problems. Problem is I think that truthfully, the craft bag is what keeps people who own most chapters in DLC subscribed to ESO Plus. I'm sure that they gauge things like that. And I know that Fallout 76 had a problem where, like, you know, too many players had too many items in their inventory. I don't know if that's something that they have to really weigh when they're talking about like increasing like storages and things and whatnot. So food for thought, I guess. As I was thinking about that when I was playing Fallout 76, because that was the reason a lot of players were like, do you have some more slots? And they're like, no. I think Fallout 76 is not unlimited too. So like, or I think it might be unlimited junk maybe, but not other things. Something like that. Sorry, my cat wants to be pet. That's like what I'm petting right now. So I don't know how they can gauge their monetization system and make it different. I think that they should change non-combat pets and turn them into like little mini companions where you like do little things for your non-combat pets, you know, and then they level up with you and whatnot. I think that would be pretty cool. Like Wizard 101 style, maybe you could breed them together. They give you permanent stat buffs and things. Tell me that wouldn't be kind of cool, you know? If I go to Vegas, that'll be what I tell them. I'll be like, look, fellas, hear me out. How do we feel about non-combat pets getting upgraded? And they'd be like, and no. No, thank you. Anyone have any other questions, by the way? It's getting a little late here. And I want to, you know, make sure I answer all things. GRG, we're talking about Crown Store monetization. That's what we were talking about. That was a big tangent. Does anyone have any questions though that I can help answer while you guys are all here? Are they doing it? At this point, no. It's just, it comes up every so often, between all the other things that are going on. Just staring forward, looking at nothing. I would be nervous if they announced cross saves, but we'll have to see. It would be cool and kind of make sense. Yeah, I think the big thing is just making sure they do it correctly. You have one question. Don't feel like you have to hold back. Go ahead. No pressure. Better be good. Thanks for the content. I'll be sifting through your videos. I can barely ride my mount currently. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's faster to just run places. I wish that they would like take into consideration if you have like mount or like speed up boosts upgrades. Well, I guess I don't. Well, I guess wearing Ring of the Wild Hunt's not going to make your horse go faster, but maybe it should. You know, why not? You know, you think they'll ever get rid of crown crates? Probably not. But like, I don't think that necessarily crown crates are necessary either. If that makes any type of sense, like. If you think about it, like what's really in a crown crate that you either really need or sometimes even want? Like the Akaviri ones, I'm pretty sure I was gifted at some point. I don't even remember buying these Akaviri ones. I think I was gifted them at one point during that little like ticket thing, but like there's just not anything in here that I think is really that makes me go, oh, I need this, you know what I mean? I've been cleaning up in Balforen during up these events. No bots in a couple of days. That's incredible. I need dwarven plants, terrible drop rate. Anyone got any tips for the love of God? Dwarven plan tips. I'm trying to think where I usually go. It's a public dungeon, and I cannot remember the name. I'm so drawing a blank on it. But don't forget, Neilster, that in the Golden Vendor, there's a lot of dwarven stuff in there, right? Meow. So keep that in mind. Can't think of damn, LOL. Can't think of one LMAO. Are you live streaming again? I really do have some questions regarding crafting and stuff like that. Yeah, and you have time to if you think of it. But yeah, I will be streaming. So I don't know about Monday because Monday will probably be a late day for me working. So it might be a video, might be a live stream. Tomorrow will be a video, and I'm trying to go through the past videos I have and make sure I read through the comments because you guys leave lots of comments and I enjoy reading them. In Blackreach, yes, it's one of these is really good for vampire ones, and I think that's that one. But hang on. I almost feel like it's this, but I could totally be wrong. Because I feel like this public dungeon is really good for the vampire plants, but that I could be totally wrong because it's, and I feel like going here is really good for dwarven plants, but I could be wrong. Is it this one? I feel like this is a really good spot for vampire plants. It could be good too for the other one. I do feel like, and I could be misremembering because it's been like years. I do feel like this one was really good for something though, because it's like jogged in my mind is like this could be a good place to go. Maybe there's just a shit ton of urns or something. And, you know, if you guys are, you know, not subscribed, this is just a great time to subscribe, you know. Head on down, hit the button, you know, join the squad. Be the part of the movement, the no combat pets, no peace one. Spread the message. Although we do have 23 likes, which is really good compared to the amount of viewers. So thank you guys for that. Let's see. Actually, statistically, of all of you watching, 80% of you are subscribed, so thank you. Right on, man. I will check that out and definitely subscribe and support Jakey Boy. Thank you. Super helpful. We love you, bud. Already am. Squad up. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Got 2 leads for mythic item to grab. How hard is Runes of Mazatoon or Cradle of Shadow? I fear all DLC dungeons. I am trying to remember. I think Runes of Mazatoon, I just remember being more tedious and stupid than difficult. And Cradle of Shadows, I just remember being as a little bit annoying. Rambo has gifted a sub tier 1 to Corrupt Snake. Thank you, Rambo. What a Chad. Appreciate it. But yeah, I don't think any of them are difficult, Haley. What I would say is that they're a bit, there's some weird mechanics that sometimes it can be easier to just like read a guide like super quickly before you go into it. Because like there's just some weird phases. Like it's not gonna like insta kill you or anything, but you're just gonna kind of be like, what am I supposed to do here? So if you were just look up like Alcast's video or something on it, I'm sure you would see like, okay, like, or just a guide like, oh, this is what the hard mode does. Just because it, or not the hard mode, excuse me, the final boss, because he'll like send you off like into this weird gated area and you have to like navigate your way back. It's like it's just a little weird, you know. Where's I about to go? Word is good, thanks. Well, it is a little bit of boring, but just keep that in mind. It's some mechanics, but not hard mechanics. Runes of Mazatoon is definitely just a longer one. Cradle and has that little bit more boring aspect, I think, with a little bit of mechanics. Cradle of Shadows, the final boss, I remember as having like super weird mechanics. So just keep all that in mind. I'll have to relist all this stuff once I finish here with the stream.
What can I do?
I think the spider has an insta kill before it dies. On normal though? So what are writs and how do they work? I'm an old player and stopped playing when 750 was the max. Took a break for 4 years, now going back into it. So writs are referred to as those daily quests that you pick up from the board. So once you become certified, you can basically do these daily missions where you just craft basically items, and you can pick them up from any daily writ board. What's a good starter PvP setup for a Templar? I think Deadly Strike is a really good, easy one. And then you can pair that with really almost anything. Like if you want more tank, bulk, you could go like Pariah. If you want more DPS, you could go with almost anything. Like Templars are very easy to build. I think Deadly though is very good for Templars because they have so many channels. And being able to get extra damage on those is just really incredible. It's really just going to kind of come down to bulk and mythicals. I've seen festival writ, so that's a different type of writ. Rally crying too is also phenomenal. But I think I think, I mean, even Deadly and Rallying Cry would be a pretty good one. So festival writs are a bit different. So daily writs are like when you go to Glenumbra or your starter town and you do your little certification, super easy. It'll be like, craft me an iron dagger, and you're like, here's your iron dagger, sir. And then you can then take that certification for the ends of times, and you can then do the actual daily writs. Daily writs are different than festival writs. A writ is basically just a crafting request. So think writ, think crafting quest. Now, the two ways you get those is either through the daily quest or through a book. Now, a book will either be from the festival books, or they'll be through the books that you can get in doing the daily writs. So a daily writ, oh, I just threw my, can I not get back over this fence? Oh, there we go. I was like, that's embarrassing. So you can think daily writs, these daily quests right here. I'll do them right now actually just to show you. I should have enough inventory space on this character. So you can see you can do all these. Oh, JRG says, yeah, my bad, I know about those. I guess I meant festival writs. Sorry. So festival writs will actually be a little bit different depending on the festival event that you're doing. For example, some festival writs are tied and will give you like skin changer motifs or motifs. Some of them will give you different plans. Some of them will give you half a dozen different things. Unfortunately, it just depends. Yes, there is a furnishing vendor that takes writs, so you can turn those in. Now, there are blank writ books that are non-festival related that you can go buy also. It's not just those ones that are tied there. I'll show you that vendor here. While it's loading, though, I'm going to go run and grab some more water, though, real quick. So give me like 2 seconds, then I'll be right back. Realize I muted myself there. So I would warn you that this vendor that gives writs essentially is probably going to be passively nerfed in that, well, I'll explain it when I get there. It's actually just right about here. Every capital has this vendor. So there's two of them. Generally, the things that you buy here, if you're looking to trade your writs in, is these attunable stations. An attunable station means that you can tie it to a specific set in the overworld that copies it, basically, and you can put it in your house. So the reason why writs are so valuable is guild leaders essentially will have all of these, and I'll show you that here in a bit. But ESO has said that they plan to come out with a all-in-one attunable station. So I don't think that it's going to be as profitable for very long, unfortunately. Have you ever gotten an etheric cipher? I have not. I have gotten ethereal dust, but I've never gotten the cipher before. But if you are looking to convert small amounts of writs to gold, these research scrolls can be pretty good. And then there's another vendor here that has some pretty neat stuff. And I mean, there's lots of cool things here. I encourage you to check it out. But writs are going to be losing a lot of value here. Hey Jake, do you know what traits to use for crafting gear like you want to sell, like Stun's favor, for example? Oh, 100%. I would say words. Heartland Conqueror, so that way you can get the double training trait on there. Boo, 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 boo. Is it not? Hello? I hit travel the player instead of travel. Oh, there we go. I mean, the traits for training gear, like you want the training trait, and then I think honestly, I'm a huge fan of Twiceborn, but Heartland is going to be what people are going to want probably the most, just depending on their situation. So I want you to do a thought experiment to yourself. So you just saw us at that vendor, right? Consider that each one of these, this line here of stations could easily be 1,000,000 gold. And then think to yourself why writs have always been so profitable, going forward. And why they're probably going to lose value when instead of needing all of these, you'll just need one. Writs are great for getting extra storage chests too. That is a great point, Stabby. Yeah, so you can get those extra storage chests, which I'll go back and show you. Also good to see you, Stabby. Thank you for the info. No problem. This is what we're here for. So this is why, even if they make this like new all-in-one station something you can buy with writs, unless it costs like 10,000 of them, it's just not going to be the same. Because as you can imagine, when people are building these, like they're spending millions upon millions of gold. There's just no way to have that same level, that cost, analysis, in there. So just food for thought. I'll show you those storage chests. So the storage chest can either be bought with crowns, Telvar, or writ vouchers. I do think writ vouchers is probably the cheapest currency to buy them with, because I can't think how much Telvar it costs off the top of my head. But when you consider how much money you can make off of Telvar with prism runes, it just usually doesn't break down very favorably to like buy almost anything else. Jake, I listened to that Barbie song as my battle song when I fight the world boss. I use my writs to buy trains, stations, and list them in guild traders. Another great option too. These are those boxes, by the way. So these can be purchased with Telvar, writs, or gold. Those are the three ways crowns, not gold. I mean, in theory, you can buy them with gold if somebody's selling crowns. For those of you who do not know, a lot of people will sell crowns for gold, and you basically gift somebody an item and then you give them the gold. It is technically a little bit risky in that you're basically trusting either the person to either A, gift you the item, or B, if you're selling crowns, the person to give you the gold. So there is a little bit of, trust that goes into that, but I will tell you that it is a bannable offense to scam somebody. So just keep that in mind. There's a little bit of security when it comes to that. And generally, there are verified crown sellers, and people who have high-level accounts generally don't risk their accounts for, a tiny amount of crowns or gold. So there's a level of security there too. What are you doing? Just back to try to sit on the keyboard again. I also thought that as the night went on, there'd be less and less of you, and we're slowly gaining people on both Twitch and YouTube. So thank you everyone for stopping by. I appreciate it. Glad to have you. Here's a question too. Any suggestions for videos that you guys would like to see in the old future coming up here? Anything that you guys are like, oh Jake, you should definitely do one of these. You should definitely do this bad mamma jamma, or you should do this thingamahoosin'. Or I really want to learn about this, or I'm all, this usually confuses me. When buying crowns, not frowns. You don't need to buy frowns. Get referrals or have a middleman. That's also a good option too. A lot of guilds too will have verified crown sellers. So you could, look at those. I think This is an example of one that does list it. Guild halls, furnishings, no drama. All right, maybe they don't have theirs listed. Somebody here does. Lifetime. All right, come on now. Oh, see, verified crown seller. See, boom. You can see all the people who are verified to sell crowns. And then sometimes people have it in their ranks too. Best way to farm Televar stones. I actually have a video on the best way to farm Televar stones. I could potentially update it, but I think I updated it not too long ago. I've just gotten the Oaken Soul Ring. That was hella grind to get my scrying to level 7. And hello, yes, it is definitely a grind to do both of those things. Fastest way to level 1 to 50 due to the double XP right now. I do want to make another XP video. Oh, did you guys just hear my cat? Are you chirping into the headset or into the mic? No one has ever gone into a PvP intro video where they go over the chat shortcuts. That could be pretty cool. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that, Drake, so I don't forget that. That could be a good, even just like a YouTube short, honestly, where it's like, boom, you know, here's just a quick breakdown of the lingo. But I do want to make an updated XP video because I plan to break it down, because there's always this misconception that you always have to do what the best something is, whether it's best XP, best gold, best, you know. And I don't like that line of thinking, because I think that truthfully, it's not about what's the best per se, it's about what's the best for you based on your situation. For example, you could be a champion level trying to get more champion levels. You could be a solo player. You could be a solo player without any DLCs or ESO plus. You could be a solo player with DLCs. You could be two people who are below level 50. You could be two people who are champion levels. You could be somebody who has a companion. You could be somebody who doesn't have a companion. So like, these are all considerations, I think, that you should make. I got a question. How do you reset Skyreach when you're solo? Is it possible? What I would suggest is just get somebody to join your group, and then they can log off that character and you can flip it between normal and veteran. I believe there is. I think you might have to walk into like another. Can you reset? Because I feel like they changed it to where you could like reset. You might be able to reset it like this even when you're not in a group. I feel like they changed it to where like flipping like what I'm doing right now. Not this right here. Why does it keep scrolling down? Sorry, my cat's like kicking me. I believe that works. Achievement vendor showcase, where to go, what they have. That could be interesting, especially with the new class coming out. Might get some views with the XP video. Yeah, and I think that I want to just make sure that I have like a good, accurate breakdown, you know, based on what your situation might be, because the best for you might not be for the best for everyone, you know. You have to swap vet to normal, but sometimes, so it used to, and I don't know if this was among every console, that sometimes you couldn't switch correctly when you were a solo player. You weren't in actually a group. And thank you for the subscription, Park ZSY. Welcome to the squad. If you listen closely, you'll hear a cat chirp right below the mic. I thought that was my cat chirping up, and you can see her headbutting the mic arm. Yes. Yes. Oh, and she just tackled my phone. I need that. That's where I see the chat on YouTube. For some reason, my chat never works on my computer. Well, I mean, it works. It just doesn't pop up as quickly. So I always have it like play through my my phone. you know, and my cat just like tackled it. He was like, boom, you smack this with my head. Look at Patchy Rhinoceros. Other questions you guys have? It always feels like it's so productive when I get a chance to answer your guys' questions and chit chat with you about things. So what other ideas, suggestions, or questions do you have that should either be answered like right now by a silly goose or, you know, in a future video? You don't understand what you're saying if you just sit down there and chirp. They don't even see you. Why don't you come sit here so they at least look at you? What are the must-have DLCs? I think that depends. But I would say that definitely Western Skyrim is probably a must-have because of the antiquity system. Somerset with jewelry crafting is also pretty key in my opinion to make your life very easy. From there, it becomes tricky because Vardenfell is free. Not that Vardenfell really adds anything like super groundbreaking. Northern and Southern elsewhere you could probably skip. Deadlands I feel like is pretty good. If you want the best XP method, Murkmire is the way to go, but like Murkmire is not going to give you anything super crazy. Hoping to get back into Cyrodiil to find some Magicka Nightblade build ideas. Level 50, about 900 CP Overlord plus. Do love the game. I honestly, truthfully, have never really played a Nightblade. I've only ever played a Stam one. I thought my battle pet scamp was a companion when I was new. Maybe they're kind of like that, you know? So like Northern, Southern, elsewhere, not anything like super groundbreaking. Deadlands adds companions, but so does High Isle. But then there's some good antiquities that are only in the Deadlands update. Somerset also gives you access to, let me think, guild lines too. Let me look for a visual here. Dark Brotherhood, do you need the Dark Brotherhood? It certainly helps with grinding. Psijic Order, it's not essential, but again, it just helps. Thieves Guild, you could probably skip Thieves Guild if I'm being honest. What in the world? So from the guild line perspective, and then Galen is just pretty good if you want to farm easy gold, honestly. High Isle is pretty good. It's got Tales of Tribute. It's got new companions. So, I mean, especially if you don't have Blackwood, I think High Isle can be pretty good. But it'll just depend. I also forgot to put my water over there. Give me 1 second. Hrothgar, I think, is free now, if I'm not mistaken, but Maelstrom Arena is pretty good. The Reach gives you access to Vatestrand, which does have some pretty good weapons, but nothing that's going to be groundbreaking. If you don't have Somerset, you can't use the jewelry crafting station, which is true. And you can't do jewelry crafting writs, which also kind of sucks. What else? What are we thinking, fellas? I think that's pretty. I think those are the essential ones, honestly. I'm thinking. I'm eating these M&Ms. I'm thinking to myself, like that's pretty much the essentials. Because like, yeah, like the Dragon Guard DLC and that are fun, but like the Clockwork City, is there anything in the Clockwork City that makes you go, oof, need that? Like, not really. Not that I could think of, at least. Where do you get the awesome torch? So this is actually a personality that was either given out or available during the initial Elsewhere event, I believe. So I think I think it was, I can't remember if it was free or you had to pay for it, but I was like, that looks dope. I like having a little torch. I thought it was much brighter when I purchased it, but I mean, it adds a little bit of light. I love crafting, so I think an in-depth guide on what to craft to sell would be an awesome video. That's a good idea. I'll definitely add that to the list. Cold Harbor is the best place to grab herbs for alchemy, so that's a good tip from Rick. Dragon Realm is quite profitable. That's also very true. Dragon Realm is super profitable. I like Southern Elsewhere because it's easier dragon farming. The chests you get also, that's true. Miss out on the sky shards, though. That's true. If you don't have a zone, you won't be able to get the sky shards. Although what I would say is like, there's so many, like, if you, all right, there's a thought experiment. Like, I have 80 free skill points. I don't really think there's a whole lot of thing, and you can see I have pretty much every skill, in the game, and guild line and thing. So it's not like you need every single skill point available to you. Yeah, so the new class will be coming out with the newest chapter. And then Dalmora safe boxes. Oh, hang on. Oh, your message, the Twitch message is getting pushed away. Dalmora safe boxes are great during this video. 250 gold per box, over 2k per run inside the building. I do the bank, guild bank re-ups there, so you can get boxes and hear them and they respawn quickly. Interesting. I've never heard of anyone doing that, Rambo. I'm gonna take a picture of that because I'm gonna look into that because it sounds pretty cool. Thank you for that. I like Southern Elsewhere because it's easy. Oh yeah, I've read that already. Not to say that it wasn't worth reading twice. I'll read it twice. Don't worry. I like Southern Elsewhere because it's easier dragon farming. Very true again. And the chest you get. The chest, you may be wondering, is a reference to this that I shall show you. It's a free chest that you can grab every day if you've done enough daily quests. Clockwork's my favorite, but you can use the station without it. That's where I kind of think that Clockwork City is just not helpful. Look at this little bad boy. This right here is what we refer to as free. You know what they say about free? Free's good. But you see, we just got Rheum and blood and all this other gobbledygook for free. So I mean, definitely one of the more nice things to have, if I do say so myself. Any other questions or suggestions while I have you guys here? I figure we'll do another 4-ish more minutes live streaming before I let you guys go here. You guys can go and back off into the the big old something in the sky. I don't know what I was thinking for there. I was trying to think of a metaphor. Sometimes it's very hard to stream and think clearly because, like, on one hand, I have the things that I'm thinking, and on the other hand, I have Twitch and YouTube chat, and on the other hand, I have a cat that's running around, and she's running around in my bedroom, and I hear these clanking noises, and I'm like, what's that? Please don't be anything valuable. So sometimes it's very easy to get distracted on these things. Plus, I don't really watch other ESO Twitch streamers, so I don't really know what a lot of people do in these types of situations. Like what do they talk about? What do they farm? What do they do? So I'm I still kind of go into these things a little bit blind, just kind of humding it throughout. I don't think there's any other DLC zones though. New class is looking good. It's looking real good. PvP Sky Shards. I do have a how to get Emperor video that I do think actually is pretty good. That you should check out if you're interested into how to get the Emperor. The Sky Shard run in Cyrodiil. I don't know about that. I don't know if I could pay myself to go back and do that again. The new class would be OP. Potentially. I think that people need to consider too the fact that with vampires being able to streak, that a lot of classes that didn't have a lot of mobility options are going to be exceptionally mobile. So for example, Dragon Knights, who've notoriously not really had a lot of speedy ups and gap closers that were effective, are going to have access now to a streak as a stam character. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a little bit more balanced than people give it credit for. Do you? What do I? Stabby. And damn, I need to catch up big time to play. You don't have to catch up. You don't ever have to stress about playing ESO. That's the beautiful thing about ESO, is you could just come in, do some quests, farm some things, have fun, enjoy the side quests, enjoy the companion system, enjoy the furnishing system, enjoy the housing system, enjoy the PvP if you want, enjoy the PvE. Go to Craglorn, do some easy trials. Go to Craglorn, do some hard trials. Join a trial guild. Parse. Work on parsing. Try to parse a high number. Like, play how you want. Don't play how other people think you should want. But Dragon Knights are already OP though. That's why I'm wondering, because people are like, what's gonna happen when, because a lot of PvP players are already vampires. So now when you have something that is OP already, like Dragon Knights, and you give them access to a streak, I think that's going to really be pretty dangerous for us lay folk out here who have to compete with that. And have a good night to you too, Fritzy. And not, unfortunately, read the other type of streaking vampires. Basically, it's like this. It'll look similar to that, except I don't have a PTS account, so like I can't do it. But just imagine this, but vampire-esque. I could throw on like a red overlay or something and just be like, ooh, vampire. Oh. The whole party can use the portal you make with the new class things. They're going to get fun. Yeah, I wonder too, like, are they going to be able to get to places in Cyrodiil that they shouldn't be able to get? Those are things that I also kind of wonder. Sorcerers need a buff for pets. I mean, it's their thing. They should be OP in that department. Amen. Or just buff them, in some other ways too. I'll take any sorcerer buff at this point. It feels like they're always like, we noticed the Dragon Knight was OP, so we nerfed the sorcerer. And I'm like, what? What? What are you doing? Licking the couch? Cats are so silly. Any other questions though? Final suggestions or anything before I turn you guys loose here? Or my cat hits the power button on my computer and says, all right, that's enough for tonight. You've ignored me long enough. That's why I love the game. See? Yep. What's up? Yes? Exactly. A non-stress game. But Dear friends, thank you for stopping by. And thank you again for coming over here, spending time with us. Rambros, in Breaking the Wheel 2, is the upgrade to Mournhold worth the extra coins? That'll depend on you. I would say so, because filling 30 guild trader slots is very easy. I mean, you could just go farm 30 gourmand pieces and then boom, you know, you've instantly made your money. I mean, if you think about it, like, you spend 30k a week or 20k or however much, and you sell 1 or 2 items worth 20 to 30,000, you've made your money, and you can get those by doing like a single world boss in the new zone. So that's kind of my food for thought when it comes to those things, but you know, everyone's a little bit different, so you know, everyone's got their own opinions. Kyle makes it fun together, clams. Good night, Jake. Good night, Red. And thanks everyone again for stopping by. Final chance, you know, if anyone wants to subscribe, see their name, you know, pop up on screen, you know, no pressure, you know, everyone's, you know, welcome to subscribe, you know. I'll read your name off, you know, while petting my cat, you know, and telling everyone good night. Can I get a guild invite? Yeah, or if you're on Xbox, like right now, send me a whisper, and I can shoot you an invite. I think, let me make sure there's an opening here too. Yeah, there is an opening, so I can invite you if you would be interested. Will do. And remember, it's Jake Clips singular. There's no S. I'm not a plural when I play on Xbox. Only on YouTube and Twitch am I a plural. Jake Clips. I'm alright, man. Thanks for answering all my weird questions. Figured it was full. No, it's actually not full. But if you would be interested and you would like an invite, all you have to do is message me, Jake Clip. So you would just type W. You know, I'll show you how you whisper, and then you just go Jake Clip, which feels weird. Hi. Oh my gosh, you can actually whisper yourself. That's very weird. That's how you do it. So if anyone wants an invite to either my guild on Xbox or the Mournhold traders that I'm in, you just let me know. But while you guys are reviewing that and whispering me all your dirty secrets, I will let you guys go here. And unfortunately, Red, we won't be able to meet until cross platforms exist, cross saves, or however they do it. But maybe one day. We're here with each other in spirit, you know. You know, you watch me, I talk to you, you know, we can still get the most out of this. But I will let you guys go here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the Market Watch video for March. And if you have suggestions or anything, again, you know, just toss them in the comments, and I'll see you there. Bye, guys.